What up, everybody? It is Anti-Simp back with a new video. I know I haven't done a video since a couple weeks ago, and mostly because I've been doing some research. I've been doing some research on certain things. See, I believe that because of how things have been going during the pandemic, that people, mostly women, would be more cooperative, and I was just interested in studying this to see if it was accurate or not. I wanted to see things because many of us don't travel, or we can't travel because of the pandemic, and there were some of us that was going to go on probably go on vacation overseas or other countries just to see how other women would treat us elsewhere. And I got a little curious. People have been suffering, people have been going through some pain, and maybe because of that pain they've had a reality check. So I kind of rebooted up my profiles on dating sites, and I wanted to see what was out there and how far this would go. So I had talked and chatted with a couple of women on these sites just to, gauge their minds and to see, like I said, how far things would go. If the pandemic has changed their minds. Now, or not just changed their minds, but if the pandemic has basically, made them more cooperative. Because let's just be realistic. Like I said earlier, some of us couldn't travel because of the pandemic. Flying out got shut down. Many of these other countries had to limit who they let in, and I know some of us are anxious to pretty much get shit going next year or sometime in the near future. But meanwhile, while we're here, it would be interesting to see how females treat us, and if there's a change. Even if you decide to only entertain this temporarily until it's time, until you get the go ahead to travel, this is what will be interesting going forward. Maybe just some form of entertainment or something to take your mind off of things. Human interaction, it's not strange. It wouldn't be bad. So I had created, like I said, I rebooted up my dating profiles, and I began chatting with some women, liking profiles here and there. I try to be a little bit more strategic with it by, liking profiles instead of cause I used to just swipe on everything, and then I wouldn't even have anything for another, 12 to 24 hours. But I'll try to be more strategic and just liking specific profiles, and then maybe I'll match up with somebody that has their mind right. So, I had matched up with this one chick, and I gotta say, man, I'm gonna probably try to talk to more women or whatever cases. I matched up with a couple of other women, but I don't think things have changed. I don't think things have changed much. But I had matched up with this one chick. I was talking to her for a little bit, and what I found interesting was that I didn't find this out until was it yesterday? And I know some of you feel like, well, you could have found this out sooner, but I really wasn't really interested in her. I was just gauging her. It wasn't something that really matters whether or not or when I found this out. But like I said, this is just research. It really doesn't take that long to get to know somebody, but at the pace we were going, where I was mostly the one asking questions, it is what it is. So I matched up with this one chick, and I found out that she had kids, and she was a divorced single mother of 3. And after chatting with her, texting with her, whatever case is, eventually I shot her my number, and we began, texting and talking on the phone. And she would let me know that she wanted to, she told me I knew she wanted to be married before we started, texting each other back and forth or whatever. But what I didn't know was how soon or how serious she needed her relationship to be in order for her to actually, in order for either for her to break bread or to give up the draw, as they say. But we began talking a little bit more, and she talked about wanting to be in a relationship. And when she said she wanted to be in a relationship, the first thing she wanted to be a serious relationship. First thing I started thinking of is this broad is probably waiting until I thought this, but I didn't want to assume. But I'm thinking like she's probably waiting until she get into a serious relationship before she has sex again. And I'm curious if she actually had sex prior to her relationship with her ex-husband. She had been divorced separated. She'd been divorced for about 4.5 years, and she was having issues with her dude, and like her ex-dude or whatever the case is, and it's a whole bunch of other drama that doesn't even really matter, or she shouldn't have even concerned herself with as somebody who should have been just moving forward. This chick she gets attached really easily, and that was also another flag. So here's what I found what I was finding interesting about talking to her is that despite the fact that she was a single mother of 3, she wanted to be married again, and honestly, I didn't think that was going to happen again. I don't think that's going to happen again. Even if you are a man that has a child, I don't think you would have married a chick like this. She has a lot of issues. When she talked about her ex, and I brought it up, actually, no, I asked her about her marriage and why it didn't work out or whatever. And, she began pouring out her guts about, how he did certain things in a relationship, how she did certain things. But the way, when women talk badly about their exes, I tend to not really care about it, the conversation. I don't really like store it as, information, because they really only tell you certain things to make themselves look good and to make their dude look bad. She was just, this picture perfect wife that did everything that he wanted, and the relationship still failed. I don't be believing that crap at all. And then like I had to try to gauge, what her relationships were like since she's been divorced, and she's been out there, she's had different relationships or whatever the case is. And once again, she tried to make them seem like the bad guys, and she was just this good person that just gets stepped all over. And I just don't be believing that. I don't be believing it when it be guys either. But so when women don't, make it seem like, it's a sexist thing. But I don't be believing it when a guy says he's like this good person. And if he is, I'll just be thinking he's a fool for not like using proper discernment. And when y'all do it, like, I have this thing where I've said in the past that a woman can, like, there's like a bitch is the equivalent of what a female is as to what an asshole is a dude. Like a dude could be an asshole, and a female could be a bitch. And usually, what bitches and assholes are people who sometimes claim that they're nice, but they really aren't. She used to tell me that people kept saying she was nice and she was a bitch, and she just said, "Oh well, I'm gonna die alone." And I believe she believes she's gonna die alone, or at least she has mental breakdowns about it. I'm not trying to make this whole video about her, but it was just like it was something interesting that happened. Not that happened, but something interesting that I noticed about a pattern with these women is that they try to withhold the coup de puff. They go to these relationships and they've supposedly done all these great things, and they got stepped on, and now that they're single or whatever the case is, and they want to be in a relationship again, they're going to try to hold the vagina hostage, which lets you know that they don't have anything else to offer. And I'm thinking like no man in his right mind would wait to have sex with you. No man in his right mind would wait to have sex with you. And she would say like weird stuff like I had showed one of my homies her profiles, whatever cases, and he said she had a body built like a football player, and I couldn't help but laugh because she was saying things like she was giving dudes a chance that she wouldn't normally give a chance. And I'm thinking like, you are not Beyonce, you are not like some like really hard to obtain attractive, nicely built woman who has a lot going on. Like, you're not like Brandy from the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. She was, you know, she was fine. She was slim. She had her own money. You just barely, you make a little bit, you make, you know, you're in the middle class. So you make about 5 figures, 5-6 figures a year. And no, it was about 5 figures. 6 figures is like in the 100,000 range. So she was making like 5. I'll give her 5. I'll give her the 5 range. You know, somewhere between 30 to 40, somewhere between $30,000 and $50,000 a year. That's where her range was at. So I'll give it to you that you're middle class, but you know, you're not like this super ultra galactic female that, you know, just be giving dudes a chance and they just be shitting all over you. You know, you got a body built like a football player. You know, the type of dudes that you've been getting with are the type of dudes you've been getting with. Like your parents might have groomed you for college, and you know they took you to church, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, you're a bitch and you got a body built like a football player. The type of dudes that you've been attracting are the type of dudes that you deserve to be with. And I don't mean to be calling her, like, when I say she's a bitch, like, you know, I'm just being mean or whatever the case is. Like, no, legitly, when I would be on the phone with her, she would be saying all types of crazy things, and I'm just like, yo, that shouldn't fly. Like, essentially what this type of woman is looking for is somebody a man that's like uber masculine, that's just gonna like just put up with her shit. Who's like, when she does something, you know, when she does something that's supposedly out of her control, you know, because of all her past, she's been hurt before and she has trust issues, you're just supposed to like deflect it off of your chest like some uber mythological beast of a man. You know, you're just supposed to just take it. And that's just not how life goes at all. You know, she's talking about she wanted to wait to have sex, whatever the case is, and I'm like, no man is gonna wait. No man in his right mind is gonna, you know, wait to have sex with you. No man in his right mind would wait to have sex. And I'm gonna be real with you. It doesn't matter if you have a kid or kids. You damn sure ain't gonna get a man to wait till marriage, because again, no man in his right mind would wait to have sex. Hell, you're not even gonna get a guy to wait past probably 4 dates, maybe not even past 2 with these games. Now, I get it. In some cases, you know, I get comfortability. You know, you want to make sure you're comfortable with a person before having sex with them, and that's fine. You know, you want to make sure you're vibing right. I understand that. You know, I like to make sure I have a connection with somebody. I just don't go out fucking anybody. But, you know, she's talking about waiting, and I'm just like, nah, that's just not gonna fly. I don't think no man is gonna sign up for that. You know, no man within his right mind is gonna wait to have sex with you. I'm not telling her she has to have sex on the first date, although, you know, there are guys, including myself, who have had sex on the first date with females. I had a homie who had sex within the first week of meeting up with this female, and he actually proposed to her. You know, they were engaged. Now, she messed up the relationship, but, you know, just because they had sex, you know, really fast does not mean that a dude does not know he's gonna marry a chick. He does not, like, if he knows when he knows, so it doesn't matter. So you might as well just go with the flow. It's pretty much my point. Go with the flow of things. Let things happen naturally. When she started talking about she was celibate and, you know, she had these issues of controlling her, you know, urges, because once she starts having sex with somebody, she gets attached. I'm like, yeah, no, you're gonna die alone, pretty much. Nobody is trying to sign up for that. Nobody is trying to sign up to be with you and, you know, hope that you have sex with them one day. Like, they want to know what the sexual attraction is up front, and, you know, they're gonna want to test out your sexual skills. For some guys, you know, that don't like to use condoms, that's especially if you're a guy that got kids, that's a blessing in disguise, because I don't think she can have kids anymore. You know, So you know, once they get their test done or whatever the case is, and they're both clean, you know, you could be shooting up the club. But again, nobody's gonna be signing up to wait to be with this chick, because some of these women don't even be having the necessary social skills to be pulling off some of the crap that they're pulling off. Like, you're just gonna wait to have sex with somebody. You're just gonna take it off the table and build a relationship. Like, nobody's trying to do that. You don't even have the skills to build a relationship. That's why your other relationships fail. You don't have the social, social etiquette to do this. You don't have the social etiquette to pull this off. That's what be making me laugh about this. They want to be playing games like this, but don't possess the abilities. And I remember we was talking about books or whatever case, and she was talking about the books that she read, and I believe one of them was a book, you know, that had Megan Good in it, or maybe her husband was the author of one of those books, whatever cases. I'm just thinking to myself, man, y'all just be really going off of hope. Y'all see a thing like Sierra, you know, getting a Russell Wilson, whatever cases, not even respecting the fact that Sierra, one, had her own money, and two, they were a part of the same social circles. Usually women who are in the same social circles, you know, they end up meeting these guys and they get matched up with them. That's how this works. That's how this plays out. But to assume that just because, you know, you prayed for it really hard and you hope for it really hard, that this is just going to happen for you. Nah, that is not how this happens. That's not how this works. That's not how life works. You know, people, I know people were talking about Jeff Bezos and his, you know, new girlfriend. He's dating a single mom. Well, first off, he's a guy that has his own kids, you know, from a previous marriage. And second of all, the girl that he's dating, even if some people argue that she's, you know, average looking or whatever the case is, she's a part of the same social circle. She's been groomed for this. You know, a girl, you don't just run into a Steph Curry on the street. And if you have, you probably you don't even have the social etiquette. You don't have the necessary game to pull a guy like Steph Curry. And I'm going to talk about this in another video because my homie had brought it up. But I don't think the relationship between Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry is going to last much longer because she's out there now. I know I've defended her in the past video about her actions because at the time I stood on what I meant. I still stand on what I meant. But right now she is out there and it's not looking good. But they're a part of a social circle that pretty much matched them up. And no normal girl is just going to run up to him on the streets or whatever the case is. It's going to be another girl, a part of the social circle. They're probably eyeing her. And, you know, that's how that is going to work out for them. That's how it's going to work out for them. With her, she's going to be by herself. And there's no doubt that she's going to be able to, you know, probably get a little bit of change if they get divorced. But I don't think she could be saved anymore. Anyway, back to this concept that bitches have about, you know, waiting to have sex. I'm like, even if you are divorced, you're still going to be treated the same way as other females who have kids out of wedlock. You're still going to be treated like a woman with with kids, and no man in his right mind is going to wait to have sex with you. That's just not going to happen. Anyway, what do you guys think about this video? Let me know in the description. And this is all the time that I have for this video. It was great, you know, chatting it up with you guys. Well, even though this conversation was one-sided, but it was great being able to put out another video. And if you want to support the channel, my Cash App is in the description. If you want to check out my book, there's also a link in the description for it, as well as, you know, you can check out my website to grab any Stop Simping apparel. And I will catch you guys at the next video. Peace.